Hey guys, if you're watching this video, that means that you made it through the riddle worksheet. So my goal for you right now is to just get a little bit of exposure to what word problems look like with inequalities. So word problems with alligators basically is what we're going for. You see the flip slide. By the way, I have all of these notes handwritten out. I'm hoping that I can get the sub to kind of email me a copy so I can post these for you. But if not, just do your best to pause the video as you're working and maybe make any notes that you might need. So you already have this slide in your models 2-14 from the other day. You already have the circle slide as well. You already have this slide all filled out. Those of you who were absent on Friday, I'm sending a copy of my handwritten notes, again, like I just said, for the sub to have. I'm hoping that somebody was able to make copies so you can have these examples that you see on the screen now, okay? But if not, again, just do your best to maybe ask a friend to look at their notes as a resource as you're working, okay? So word problems are what we're looking at right now. The key words that we will be focusing on are kind of some key words that will clue us into what type of alligator we use as we're reading, okay? Now, this is something that takes practice. This is new, so I'm not expecting you to walk away being perfect at this, but just to at least get kind of a clue into what how we're going to be thinking about these types of word problems as we go. So up at the top in that green box, you can see some common words that lead you to certain symbols. So the obvious is less than, is fewer than, is going to lead to a less than symbol. The obvious is greater than, is more than, or exceeds will lead to greater than. When the equal to symbol gets put into practice, there's a little bit more going on. So just pay close attention to what the wording looks like here and what the meaning symbolizes to kind of catch when to use that equal sign and when not to. So obviously is less than or equal to is flat up in your face simple. These next two are a little trickier though, because think about, we are using a less than or equal to, and then we're coming up here and saying is no more than. So I want you to take a second and think about why that makes sense. Less than or equal to means is no more than. Okay? It makes sense when you think about it. And then same way is at most. Okay? Like I want you to spend at most an hour on your screen time at night means I want you spending less than or equal to 1 hour on your screen time. Okay, so those last two I'd put a little star beside because those are a little bit like you see the word more and you see the word most and you think greater, okay, but it's actually the opposite because it's saying is no more than or is at most, kind of like a maximum, at most meaning less than or equal to. In that, honestly, I just said another word that's not actually in this list that should be. Maximum will go in this blue list here. Okay, if you're spending a maximum of $1,000 on a new guitar, whatever, you're spending maximum meaning less than or equal to $1,000. Okay, and then finally over here on the right side, we're looking at the greater than or equal to symbol. Okay. So the obvious is greater than or equal to. And then kind of the same way that these last two bullet points were on the blue list is no less than. Again, think about the fact we're looking at a greater than or equal to and saying is no less than. And then the same thing with at least. Okay, you're seeing the word least, but then you're using a greater than symbol. So this little area right here, these last two bullet points in these last two columns, there is a lot of thought that goes into those. So a couple quick examples of those yellow ones. If I say I need you to do no less than 30 push-ups in your workout, no less than means no less than 30 means 30 or more. If I want you to spend at least 30 minutes reading your AR book, okay, I'm saying 30 minutes or more on your AR book when I say the words at least, okay? So you might want to make a quick note, especially about those few that are, kind of in this highlighted area here that are a little bit more thought-provoking than the rest, all right? So if we look down at the bottom, here are just some basics that we can practice just to make sense of them. So I would actually like you to pause the video and go ahead and try to match up the 3 blue phrases up here at the top. Okay, I'm looking right here with the 3 inequalities over here. So pause and try to match those. Okay, so now we'll match them up together. The first one says the elevator can hold no more. I'm going to get some of this erased up here. Can hold no more than 2,800 pounds. Okay, so no more means it can hold 2,800 pounds, but no more than that. So we're looking at a less than or equal to, okay, because it could be equal to the 2,800, but no more, okay, so less than or equal to. The next one says a bird can fly at least 2,800 feet in a minute. So that's, if you reword that, you're saying the bird can fly 2,800 feet or more, okay? So we're looking at the greater than or equal to symbol there. And then lastly, you can spend fewer than $2,800 on a new mower. Okay, so obviously fewer than means less than, doesn't mean equal to, it just means less than. Okay, so if you haven't paused and tried the green ones at the bottom, go ahead and do so. And then we'll check them together. Okay. So this first one, your time exercising must exceed 20 minutes per day. So that means it must be greater than 20 minutes per day. Can't be equal to, it's got to be greater than. The middle one there, you must clean your room for no less than 20 minutes. Please don't see the word less and think the less than symbol, because we're saying is no less than. Okay, so that one's meaning 20 minutes or more. Okay, no less than 20 minutes. Your time is greater than or equal to 20. And then you must play on your iPad no more. So same thing, don't see the word more and think greater, because we're saying no more. So we're saying no more than 20 minutes is less than or equal to 20 minutes. Okay, so I know that's kind of confusing, but hopefully those few examples kind of give you a chance to wrap your head around the type of thinking that goes into developing these word problems, because these over here are the basics. We're actually going to get into where we write inequalities that have 2 steps, like we did with equations. We might write, 2x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 20, something like that. So this is the base. So let's flip to the next slide real quick, and then we'll probably be done. Okay, so what I would like you to do on this slide is go ahead and just make some notes on a blank piece of paper. You can use the words from the last slide to kind of highlight on here, like I see the word at least, I see the word maximum, I see the word minimum, and just make some inequality statements on this page to practice for yourself. We'll do the first one together, and then we'll come back and look at it all. So the team must make at least 15 foul shots before the buzzer beeps. So the team's foul shots are at least 15. So that's meaning you're making 15 or more before the buzzer beeps. So we're going 15, it could equal, or it has to be more than 15. So foul shots have to be greater than or equal to 15. Okay? So pause the video, try the rest, and come back for your answer check. Okay? So this one here, the maximum number of people allowed in the restaurant is 124. Okay, so we're talking about people, so I'll use a P. You could use X's for all of these, by the way. So the maximum number of people allowed is 124. So the first question you have to ask yourself is, could 124 work? Like, could we equal 124? And if you think about it, the maximum number is 124, meaning we could definitely equal 124. There's 124 seats in there. And since that's the maximum, it means 124 is the highest we can go, meaning that this number of people has to be less than or equal to 124. And then on the third one, we're going to kind of flip side. The minimum payment to reserve concert tickets is $50. So your money for tickets, the minimum is $50. So we could equal 50, but we're saying minimum, thinking about that's the lowest number we would take. Okay, so we're looking at your money being greater than or equal to 50, a minimum of 50, so more than 50 to reserve those tickets. The next one, you can take no more than 3 cookies from the dessert table. So your number of cookies has to be less than 3, no more than. Okay, so the question there is, could the equal to symbol work here? You can take no more than 3. So are you allowed to take 3? Yeah, you are. So that would be an equal to symbol as well. Next up, Jake can spend at most $100 from his savings on video games per year. Okay, so there's our keyword, at most. So we're saying X compared to 100. So if he's spending at most 100, is he spending more than 100 or less than 100? And that, hopefully you answered, is less than, because most is his maximum there. So his money is less than 100. And then the question that you have to follow with is, could it be equal to 100? And if your mom said you're spending at most 100, you could equal 100. That's what she said, at most 100. And then lastly, Erica should spend no less than 30 minutes per night reading to get her AR goal. Okay, so her time compared to 30, okay, is no less than. So no less means more than, okay? So more than 30 minutes. And then the question, could it be equal to 30 minutes? And yes, it could, okay? Because the teacher said no less than 30, just meaning you couldn't do 29, but you could do 30. So we're going to throw the equal to symbol in there, okay? So I think by this point, you probably have maxed out on what you can accomplish in the period. So I'm going to stop the video here, even though I had a few more examples. You're probably bored with this. And honestly, it is 1 a.m. as I am making this video. So I am tired and ready to go to bed. So if you happen to be finished with nothing else to do, I did give the sub a worksheet that's called Assignment 2-14. If you want to try it, you're welcome to. It is not homework. It's 5 questions long and it's multiple choice, kind of like the stuff that we were just looking at. So you're welcome to try it if you want, but obviously you don't need to. So all that you need to have accomplished before you leave today is to listen to the pre-riddle video, do the riddle worksheet and turn it in. If the riddle worksheet's not turned in, that is homework. And then if you've listened to this video, you're done and you can have free time to end the class. Just behave and don't distract anybody. All right? So I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. See ya. Bye.